Ready? All right. Call the meeting to order. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Mr. Simpson.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Public comment on the agenda. See no public other than our candidates, so I'm assuming there is none. Any revisions to the agenda? If not, I'll accept the motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as stands. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we'll move on to discussion items, which were just a couple. So, again, I just want to thank the four candidates for stepping forward and applying for a board seat. As I mentioned in the email that I sent you, I'm going to allow each of you the opportunity to answer a question regarding your beliefs and directions and strategies for the board, and then spend a few minutes telling us about anything else you'd like us to know. As I said in the email, hold it to 20 minutes. If you want to be shorter, we're okay with that. But we want to give you all the time you need. As I also just told you, we're going to do this in alphabetical order. So once we get going, come up and introduce yourself. And then this is the question, and I'll repeat this as many times as you want. But the question I have is, please provide the board with an overview of the strategic direction, including new programs and curriculums that you would advocate should you be selected to fill a vacancy. Again, provide the board with an overview, strategic direction, including programs and curriculums that you would advocate should you be elected to fill our vacancy. So, given this, we'll get started. First up, again, alphabetical order. So, Mr. Joshua Madison. Again, there's a microphone there. And are you comfortable with the question?
I am.
All right.
Hi, I'm Josh Madison. I've been a resident here for 15 years, my wife and I. I have two children that have attended Tecumseh Public Schools their entire school career, one of which is graduating this weekend, the other will be graduating next year. I've been in the both private and education sectors in the construction side of things. Worked as a sheet metal worker. I've been an HVAC technician. Finished my degree in construction supervision, and currently am a HVAC and building control systems manager up in Ann Arbor Public Schools. I think, kind of to answer your question on what is my vision or why do I want to be on this board, I think there's a lot of potential here in Tecumseh. If I didn't, my kids wouldn't still be here. I think Tecumseh has a lot of potential. I think we've made some good, positive moves over the last few years. There's been a few setbacks, but I think overall my vision for curriculum would be to expand on what we're already doing. And what I mean by that is I think COVID taught us that there needs to be more than just basic education. We need to have a lifelong learning mentality that allows our kids to grow, whether that's online, whether that's through the TPA programs we offer, whether that's in person in classrooms. We need to have all those options for our kids, but I think we need to expand on what we offer these kids because I think, like I said, there's a lot of potential in Tecumseh, and I want to see nothing but the best for Tecumseh for the future. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions from Mr. Madison? No. What's that? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up would be Mr. Chris Peoples. Do you need me to repeat the question?
Please.
Okay. Please provide the board with an overview of the strategic direction, including new programs and curriculums that you would advocate for should you be selected to fill our vacancy. Okay, you good?
Good evening. My name is Chris Peoples, and we've been in the district for about
2.5 years. I'm a pastor in town, and we chose this specific district. I interviewed all of the principals in the county when we moved here of the high schools, and we chose this specific district because of the technology aspect and the music aspect, and those are things that our kids are very much love and appreciate with their education. As far as what would I like to see expanded, our daughter right now is in 8th grade, and she has been on. We have a sophomore as well, 2 adult children. One graduated last year in the mess that was, but we all navigated through it well. So our 8th grader, I'll use as an example because she has the longest path through the high school. She has wanted to be an orthodontist since she was 5 years old. She's a cleft patient, and she has her plan. As an 8th grader, she knows every class that she has to take throughout the course of her high school years to be where she wants to be when she's a freshman in college. The disappointment for me as a parent, and I know other parents that have expressed this, dual enrollment is either hard to find or not real available. The high school that our oldest son graduated from, his classmates had 60 college credits by the time they graduated high school. And so the availability that I have seen, the availability of dual enrollment, lifelong learning. It's not every student is set for college. Not every student wants to go to college. Trades are important. We should not minimize that. But as the cost of higher education increases, as the demand of the workforce requires more higher education, I would like to see more higher education credits available at a high school level. And I think that the school district now has some good partnerships, but I would like to see that expanded. I've worked in a public school classroom for a couple of years. I know the challenges that our teachers face. I know the technology challenges that go along with that. And this has been a really hard 2 years to navigate for everybody in every sector of the world. So I want to say thank you for the job that you guys have done and the decisions that you guys have had to make. There are lots of people that live in our community that would not want to make the decisions that you have had to make. So I applaud you as you've gone through, and I would like to have the opportunity to join you to help our great school system become greater for the future, because it will make our community stronger and better, and people, the people who have pulled their kids out of Tecumseh schools may want to come back. So that's all I have to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, we have any questions? Mr. Peoples?
All right.
All right,
Thank you very much.
All right. Next up, again, alphabetically, would be Mrs. Mary Tomlin.
Hi,
Hi, Ms. Tomlin, do you need me to repeat the question?
strategies. You can read.
New programs. Please provide the board with an overview of the strategic direction, including new programs and curriculums that you would advocate for should you be selected to fill our vacancy.
That is the easiest question ever. I am very passionate about education and very passionate about curriculum, and I am honored to have had the opportunity to work at Tecumseh a little bit of time away, but pretty much for 38 years, because even though I was at the LASD Tech Center, I was still cheering on those Tecumseh kids and making sure that they had opportunities. What I would really like to see, you may not know this, but I hired in some 39 years ago as a vocational home economics teacher. I have a vocational certification, and that is near and dear to my heart. I feel that that Tecumseh does a great job, as evidenced by our continuing getting awards for, getting kids college ready. And I love that. And I agree too. The opportunity for dual enrollment and college ready is extremely important. And we have that. We have that down. But I feel that we need to really explore and to continue to develop what we are doing for students in all population groups. I like to kind of look at education and curriculum and like students are going down a stream, and it's our job to get them before they're at the waterfall. It's our job to go upstream and try to find passions, things that they're interested in, things that they may want to do for a career, things that are like a lifeline for them to keep them connected. I would very much like to see more. I like that you're going to do Project Lead the Way at the high school level. I think I heard that at the last board meeting, but I would also like to see more business classes, web page design. We used to have a program at Tecumseh where students were actively involved in Business Professionals of America, and they had the opportunity to go out and do internships their senior year in businesses. I thought that was fantastic, and I think we should bring that back. We also did something with cross-age tutoring. There's a teacher shortage. So the whole idea at that time was to teach kids about being a teacher. And then those students got the opportunity to go in a classroom so many days a week and be mentors and work with our elementary age, which just had so much about it. Rick will remember that I beat down his door just last year as a teacher because I saw what we could do from being at the tech center. What we could do. We can receive Carl Perkins money, just like the tech center does. And we can also receive money from the mills that go to the tech center in programs if we work as a feeder program to them and in our own school. Examples of that are done at St. Creek. They receive money for their FFA program. Hudson receives money. I personally feel it saddens me that students left. And believe me, I called many, many families as a counselor. It breaks my heart. I still cheer them on wherever they are, but it breaks my heart that they left. I want to be able to come up with programming and curriculum so that kids will want to be in our school and that we can offer certificates for our kids while they are in high school, along with dual enrollment credits. For example, what I was pleading with Rick for is we have all these restaurants in Tecumseh, all these food service businesses, and most people, I bet some of you were in food service at some point in your career along wherever you went. We could offer a Safe Serve class where they learn food handling. And my thought was they could then, if they did well, have an internship, unpaid, at a local restaurant. And then they'd have that certificate if they wanted to go into that would transfer into colleges. I know how to make articulation agreements with colleges. I'm an adjunct professor at Eastern Michigan University. I had that experience at the LASD Tech Center. I also am a strong believer in using the Tech Center and the programs available at the ISD. We never fill our slots here historically, ever. We get the same fund equity allowance if we send a student there for a half day as if we personally educated them. Those of you who know me know that I have done career fairs up the yin-yang. I just love that. I probably bothered a few of you last year to come in and actually, when I taught 8th graders how to write a resume, I wanted them to have a real life experience at interviewing. I think maybe just Rick got the pleasure of interviewing a student. I've done job shadows, internships with kids. I took an 8th grader who wasn't doing well at the STEAM Center and hooked him up with Garner Heating and Plumbing 2 days a week, where he would ride his bike there, got all the clearances and all the things. I want to see work study programs and job shadowing opportunities. I want to connect kids before they get to that waterfall. I'm a counselor, so of course I also care about social and emotional learning. And I'm really glad that we were able to purchase the online program that we have this year. It has a tremendous capability. I know we can push it farther. We were the only school in the county to have done that. We were the envy of the county to be able to have this program, and it has a lot of other capabilities to it. I obviously care about that. I care about community service. I feel like if we make our students have lifelong skills. We give them an opportunity to see what leadership and volunteerism is in our community. They'll be connected and they'll want to come back. I am really passionate about curriculum. I'm passionate about kids. If you want a cheerleader for Tecumseh Public Schools and someone who's going to work hard to put the best foot forward for our kids and our families, I think that would be me. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you so much for this opportunity. It really was a pleasure to be able to speak with you this evening.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Thank you, Mrs. Tomlin. Okay, last but not least, Dr. Edward Tripp. Yes, it's a blessing just to be able to. So, are you familiar? Are you okay with the question?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Good.
I've heard it 3 times. Okay, so I'm Dr. Edward Schmidt, local veterinarian, been here since 1994. All 3 of my children went through the district, all excelled under the programs that we had at that time. My youngest is 26, just graduated from veterinary school last year. And for what Tecumseh did for that one was really important through the transitional first grade that they did back then. She wouldn't be there where she is now. So I got on the board many years ago over the busing issue. Okay, that happened. Those that were around at that time, and learned that you can't go off half-cocked. You can't be having an axe to grind. You have to learn. You got to learn the job. Okay. Went to the 101s, the 102 courses, or 201s, 102, whatever the two sets of courses. Learn how to act like a board member. Okay. On it for 8 years, off for about 4, back on for about 6, and you all kind of know why I quit the board originally, or this last time, before I came into that small short-term assistance here, is curriculum. Okay. I mean, in theory, great for what we were trying to do. In practice, it didn't really work. Parents, we represent the parents, we represent the community, both those that don't have kids and those that do have kids. And you can't disrespect those people. Okay. You got to listen to them. And when you don't listen to them, and again, as a board member, you go with the majority vote of the board. I just been living with myself with what had been going on, and it physically made me sick coming to the board meetings with the way that parents were being treated. And we all know how that all turned out. Okay. So as far as my philosophy on education, I believe that education is the way to get ahead in the world. You whether that be to be in the trades or the service industry, or going on to become a doctor or anything else that requires higher education. I have also taught at the VOTEC program in the veterinary field, okay, for many years. And, they talk about, again, this might be shooting myself in the foot, but you talk about doing dual enrollment, okay? And that's fine if you want to get courses that parents don't have to pay for, and you can do well. And if you're getting A's and B's, God bless. But if you're just sneaking by, okay, I had kids that were in my program that wanted to be a vet, okay? So those grades that you're earning that may not be the A's and the B's that you might have been able to do when you were a little more mature when you get to college, they're stuck with you. Okay, it's hard to take and override those and get a high enough GPA in order to become a vet. Now, if all your goal is to become get a BS degree and go on into industry or whatever, fine, great program. But there's you got to have a little caveat when it comes to taking and having a little less mature student trying to take these courses. Okay, and I mean, I'm all for it. God bless it for the right person, but there should be also counseling as to what is your final object. What do you want to do? Okay. So, and besides that, as a board member, having done this for many years and doing a little bit of education, I'm not an educator. Okay. We hire one person and he should be the high highest educator in the district. He's the one that hires everybody else, and we got to trust in him and his curriculum group to decide what is best. Yes, we got sidetracked previous administration, okay? But for the most part, we listen to what they think is right, and we hire this man to do his job. We evaluate him, we fire him if we need to, okay? And we set policy within this district. And we follow the policies that are set by the federal and the state government. That's pretty much what we should be doing. A lot of everything else, in my opinion, when we were doing this, was extraneous information that we really didn't need to know. It's nice to know, but we don't vote on it. So that's my philosophy, and what I was taught when I went to those courses is that that's pretty much our job: hire, evaluate, fire, and set policy. And if you want somebody that's had the experience doing this for quite a few years, kind of said I wasn't coming back, but you know, again, if you deem it necessary, I would love to come back and be level-headed and do what has to be done. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks. Any questions for Mr. Trent? All right, thanks very much. Well, first, I just want to say thank you again. I mean, I think when I watched the LISD interviews, they made a comment about what a great talent pool we have, and it certainly hasn't gotten any weaker, right? I mean, it's good. So I don't do. We certainly have time for a conversation now. I mean, we'll have motions to vote later. But any comments or other questions or conversations?
I mean, I'd just like to add that thank you for each one of you for coming and applying and wanting to be part of this process. And like Mr. Rebatero said, you know, you're all very qualified for this job. So,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
and you know, it's going to be a tough choice. So thank you for coming and being here and being willing to step in one of these shoes. So it's fun. It can be rough sometimes too. So.
Anybody else? All
I
right.
guess I would like to thank everyone too. And, and he's right. It is going to be tough because everybody brings their own unique set of assets to the table, all of which are good. And I want to thank all of you too, a lot.
Together we are stronger.
Yes.
Okay. Next on the agenda is an update from Mrs. Brooks on the Budget Committee.
So I'll take this down.
Yep.
Yes, please.
So yesterday, the budget committee met, and there's still a lot of balls in the air as we wait for the state to finalize their plans, but things are looking very positive. Our tentative budget takes care of many things and keeps us at a 15% fund equity, which is what we were kind of shooting for. So that was awesome. More information will follow as Lansing kind of hones in on what they're going to do, and we have a little better idea of how that will affect us. But right now, things are looking good.
Yeah, if they come through with the governor's plan, it really allows Rick and his team to do a lot of things they wanted to do. The budget at 180 was good. This would be a really great budget.
Right.
I feel.
And it's nice that we're keeping the fund equity up and not
Yep.
dipping back down again. So.
Any questions? I guess there's just a couple of us three of us that weren't there. Any questions about that? No?
More
Okay.
information will come out as
Yeah, listen, on the 28th, we're going to do this, right? We have a budget meeting and we're going to approve a budget. So
that's the plan.
Terry's working hard
Right.
with details and monitoring and every day, and things change. So hopefully the work that she's doing now won't be for naught. Good. All right. If there's no other questions on that, we'll move on to action items, and I will now accept nominations for appointment of school board candidates.
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Mary Tomlin for the vacant position for school board.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to nominate Mary Tomlin for the vacant position. Do we have any discussion on that item?
Well, I guess my only thing, I mean, Mary is awesome. We all love Mary. I guess the only thing, my biggest worry is the lack of experience on this board currently. Between everybody here, except for me, there's 5 years. So that, we have 2 board members with 2.5 years. We have 2 with 5 months. We have 1 with a year and a month. And I worry about that, not having that experience. That's my only concern. And that would be true with, I guess all the candidates except for Ed Tritt, because he has a lot of experience.
Okay. Valid.
I think it's a valid point. I thought about the same thing when Dave Prey mentioned it in the ISD interviews. But the one thing Mary does bring
Yes.
is she's green to the board, but she knows that she doesn't have to learn the inner workings of a school. And she's got kind of that crossover person of somebody who's been a teacher and from what she did as a counselor and also at the ISD, she has that knowledge of curriculum that right now I think is our in my opinion, kind of our missing link right now, because that's something that got knocked down a little bit in the past and we got to build that back up. And I think she's probably the one best positioned to support that. That's why I gave her the nod. I think that's really a vital piece. I think what she does or what she has done at the ISD, as I know what she did, I tried to tell her I was their assistant principal and she left. I thought maybe it was me, but she wanted to go and try something different. It couldn't have been Rick. So she, I didn't want to see her leave, but what she did learn over there was the inner workings of how that system works. I know we've talked as a group here about CTE getting into teaching some more coding classes and other type of programs and like we just said, a couple people just said, we've done a great job getting 25% of our kids to graduate every year in 5 years or less after they leave high school. But that leaves 75%, the majority, 3-to-1 majority, that we need to focus that direction. We know we do well. We know what we need to improve. I think she's the best person here to help us with that improvement.
Thank you. Other discussion or comments? All right, then we'll go to a roll call vote. Trustee Lewis,
Aye.
Trustee Moore,
Aye.
Trustee Brooks,
Hi.
Trustee Simpson,
Aye.
Trustee Davis.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Passed unanimous. For Mary Tomlin, congratulations, Mary.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again for everyone.
Yep.
Thank you.
And again,
Thanks to all the other candidates. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. I'm just very excited about this opportunity.
And there's an election in a year and a half.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
So please run, we need people to run. Most of the time, no one ever runs. So it'd be great to have a whole slew of candidates running. So.
Can I ask a question? Is her position, this position just through 22? Is that correct?
Till the
Okay.
next- yeah, the one
Yeah,
next-
so we're
because
gonna
she's
have a-
filling in, it has to
Okay.
be out, like, next time
Right.
it's available to.
So
vote on.
that's a lot of vacancies in 22.
Yeah, well, a lot of positions open, so. All right, now we're moving to closing public comment. Let's see, no public. Board member comments or discussions.
I just want to announce that I hate saying the word boys, so I'm going to say the men's golf team, because they're not boys anymore. Boys are little kids like this, okay? So the men's golf team.
Depends on how old you are.
They're like this big.
I still call my son, hey, boy.
But they placed third at the regional today and qualified for states. So, which
The whole team?
the whole team.
Wow.
Nice.
Yep. So everybody. So that means everybody on the team will also still be available to become a state champ or place in the state and individuals, and the team moves on as well. So
That's great.
So.
I'd just like to thank again all the candidates and say congratulations to Mary. I look forward to working with Mary. And I was one of the lucky ones that got to sit next to Ed Tritt. He explained a lot of things about board membership to me during that year. So I also appreciate his service. And I think for the summer, that innovative summer school program, pretty excited about it. And both Davis girls, because they're still girls, will be in the program. So excited about seeing how we help kids kind of get over this hump of COVID-19 and pandemic and quarantines and all that kind of stuff. So
it'd be cool to see kind of up close and firsthand. And Terry, I'll just say it every meeting until you're not here. Congratulations on your retirement. We'll miss you. So.
I think that we've kind of gotten a lot of information in the last few days about all the summer programs coming out. And I'm, again, very pleased and very proud of the program that they're putting together. And it seems like every time I go check my email, there's more information coming on these programs. And if the public's, out there, I mean, please take advantage of that. I mean, we'd love to have those classes full and add some more. So thanks again to the staff for the hard work that's going into that. One thing I do want to mention, Mary, you will be sworn in at the June 14th meeting. Okay. Anybody else have comments? All right. If that's the case, I'll accept the motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
It's been moved to second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Post same sign. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for your time this evening. Enjoy the lovely evening.